Hello, everyone. I am about to start, and I am not a very experienced player. I haven't even finished the game. I'm on Act 3 on my personal, um, on the first game that I started. Uh, for this one, I'm gonna start again scratch, and I'm gonna give as much explanation as I can because for new players, you can either decide if you want to try the game, or in case you don't know what to do, you have some information, kind of see what the game is like. Just So right off the bat, you have a lot of options. You can customize your experience. Honor is very, very difficult. Tactician again is supposed to be difficult. Balance is supposed to be like the normal setting, and then Explorer is supposed to be like the setting. Um, Again, it doesn't matter which one you pick because at one point or another, you can actually the settings if it gets too difficult. I know some people that have played like the most of the game like on balance or tactician, and then they kind of go back and switch it to explorer or balance because a specific fight got too difficult. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start balance mostly because I want you to see a couple of features that you cannot see play on easy mode, and this is something that I noticed for because I was trying to do it for my own set of reasons. But I'll let you watch the cinematic and then I'll be back. That is your first cinematic. I'm gonna reset the tutorial so you can see them with me, although I'm probably gonna explain them as I go anyway. Maybe there's something I missed and I can kind of learn it with you at the same time. But anyhow, so this is the first stage. Obviously, you see it from first person view earlier, so you know that the mind flayers are putting the tentacle in your eye. I'm sorry, the worm. They also call it tadpole, but they don't tell you which race you are because that way you get to pick your own. Now, custom is what most people play because then you can pick either whether you're male or female, and then you can pick actually non-binary as well. You can randomize the character if you want them to pick it for you. You can pick your race. You got all these choices: bro, human, Yankee, dwarves, half elves, halflings, gnomes, dragonborn, and half orc. Now they all have specific things that they proficiencies or little extra features that will help you, like having dark vision, being able to see dark, or having fire, better perception checks, And if you're a new player, maybe you don't know what a lot of these things mean, and you'll learn through the game. If you play D&D, because basically Dungeons and Dragons, but in video game form, then you know a lot of what these traits do and how they will help you through the game. Now, for what I'm playing for this specific round, I'm actually gonna play with one of the pre-made characters. So I haven't met the Dark Urge yet. However, I have played with Asterion, and I'm pretty sure I'm pronouncing the name. Hazel, Gil, Shadowheart, Will, Karlak. Those are all the characters that you can recruit in the game early on. I know there's a few others that you. My current party is basically my personally made character plus Asterion, and the reason why I like him is because he's a rogue, and at one point or another, you're gonna have to do trap disarming and blocks, and I think a rogue is your best option. If you don't like I'm sorry, Asterion, a lot of people don't. You can create your own rogue, don't use him, and then you the other characters. Just the one I'm gonna start with. Kinda because I'm following the order. This run I'm gonna do Asterion, the next one I'm gonna do Lizelle, then Gale, then Shadowheart, and so on and so forth. So I'm gonna, for those who are new, I'm gonna kind of let you listen to his story because since I'm gonna be playing him instead of my own character, you're gonna see the story from his point of view, or at least that's what I'm hoping. Because the other one, like I said, I played my other file with my character, the character that I made on my own. So let's watch this.
Hello, darling. Don't be shy. I promise not to bite until we've been formally introduced. My name's Astarion, and I've spent a century stalking the night, hunting for pretty morsels just like you. A man called Cazador made me what I am, kept me like a pet, forced me to do his bidding. No more. The Tadpole's influence broke his dominance over me, and now I can finally pursue the one thing I've hungered for these long, dark years. Revenge. I'm going back to Baldur's Gate to track Cazador down in his lair. I'll be the last thing the bastard ever sees.
Well, as you can see, he has his little own story. So now we're gonna review the character. I'm sorry, I'm using the controller, so it's a little bit different. I have to actually switch on top, and I apologize if you can hear that. That is my daughter very happy. Now, when you're picking your character, you also have the option Origin. Obviously, you cannot because they already have their race and sub-race. But for example, you could be a human, and then you could be, well, in the case of an elf, you can be a high elf or a wood elf. Cantrips lets you pick the spells that you can use kind of unlimited. You don't have like an amount of times that you can use them. I'm still learning about this. But what I've noticed is that you can use them every turn and they don't run out. Whereas the regular spells, you only have a certain amount of spells that you can use. So what I'm gonna pick for, you can take a look at all of them, see what works best for you. I know that people may disagree with what I pick because it's better to pick something that's damaging or that you're gonna be using a lot. But because I'm focusing on looting for this character, I'm actually gonna pick Mage Hand because it can manipulate and interact with objects. And I've noticed that sometimes it helps reach stuff that other characters. So, plus at some point, I think when you level up, you can change your cantrip. Usually don't change them. I'm pretty happy with what I pick. I might do that later, but I kind of want to test it out to see if it's worth the items that it can bring. Basically, this is like a list of the abilities or proficiency that a rogue has when you acquire it. And then some when you make your own character, it kind of lets you pick the background. In this case, it doesn't because it's a pre-made character. But Charlatan is a really good. Um, I like all three of them for the. I prefer the one that has the Slay of Hand and also the one for stealth because I like to use stealth attacks and also because a lot of the stealing unlocked before the specific character. For abilities, you cannot choose what works best. So this is the recommended setup for this particular character. Um, you can go online and there's a few different recommendations depending on what you're reading, but for the most part, they're gonna have pretty similar stuff that what I'm gonna pick. So what I like is I actually like kind of reset the whole. Otherwise, it can does whatever it wants. So for strength, I pick 9, and I know that a lot of people pick a different amount because strength is more for melee weapons, and Asterion, because he's a rogue, he will do a lot of range damage, bows, crossbows, or at least when I use it, that's what I do. So I'm gonna leave strength a little bit low. Dexterity is gonna help with some of your rogue abilities. So I want it to be 16 because I want it to be one of the highest. For my constitution, I want 16 as well because I want him to be able to take damage without getting hurt right away. Uh, in my other run, he was kind of squishy, so hopefully that'll help him a little bit. For his intelligence, I am gonna do 10 because if I do less, you can see that right now it has +0 on intelligence checks. I'm afraid if I do less, then I'm gonna get a negative, and I don't like negatives because then it can mess with my rolls. With wisdom, I'm just gonna cut one back because right now I have a +1. Right now I want it at 0. That way I can move my charisma to be higher. Because he's also gonna be the face that I use for the whole team. I'm gonna up his charisma a little bit because it's gonna help with some stuff when it comes to influencing. You can see here it influences traders' prices. So I'm hoping that I can get some stuff cheaper. I haven't tested it with other characters, so I don't know how much of a price change it creates. But I know that charisma can help with other stuff as well when you're kind of role playing. Um, so stealth is one of the ones that I pick over here. Investigation, I like to pick this one because it will help me look for clues, hopefully traps, or at least that's what I've noticed. Sometimes on the outside, survival will help when there's like lumps of dirt and there something buried. Some people like inside because you can detect where people are lying to you. Perception also helps with hidden details. I like the investigation, like I said, because clues and because I feel like maybe it'll help me find stuff. Performance, supposed to help with charisma, so I'm gonna leave it there, even though he's not a bard. Intimidation, he's not gonna be the bully kind. I'm gonna use the character more of a persuasive, so I'm gonna skip that. And that's why my persuasion is high. But you can play around depending on a role play or if you want acrobatics. Athletics will help you with other stuff as well. Keep balance, make sure they don't push you. I haven't had issues with push except like when I on my own, which is my fault. And then you have your expertise. Right now is the Slay of Hand and this are my two favorite ones for a rogue anyway. So I'm gonna leave it that way. And that should do it. I cannot rename this character because one of the main ones. So now you get to pick your guardian. And your guardian is not a playable character. Somebody who's gonna come to you later in the game. I'm not gonna give you a lot of information, but you basically make it look however you want. Because I know a little bit of the story with the Guardian, I want it to be the same race as Asterion. So I'm gonna pick another High Elf. My previous game was a female, so I'm gonna pick uh, a male this time. Good to pick a body type.
Remarkable.
Voice, face. So you kind of get to pick a little bit in tone, maturity, freckles, tattoo, piercing, makeup, eye color, brain. It has a lot of really cool features, so you can kind of pick up your own. I'm gonna randomize it. I don't like the purple hair. I can deal with the blue / greenish hair. I don't think I won that race. I think I won definitely another elf. So I'm just gonna pick this one. Hi Olivia, thank you for following me. I'm good, how about you? You are very welcome. Have you played this game before, or are you kind of checking it out to see if it's something that you might want to play later? The stream is going good. This is one of my first ones. I've been testing the system, and I figure I will do like a run through for new players. So this is actually my first Steam game that I've been playing. But I play a lot of Nintendo games. Well, not a lot, but Zelda's one of my favorite ones. I didn't play a lot of the newer one for the Switch, uh, Breath of the Wild. The system was a little bit different than what I'm used to, but Ocarina of Time has to be one of my favorite ones. For the game, I like Asterion too. He's kind of funny. Plus, I think it would be nice if we had the option to play with
What's
more
happening?
vampires.
Where am I?
Uh, but from all the characters that come included, um, I think I like Will a lot because he's very noble and he wants to do what's best for everyone. Alright everyone, so when you start the game, whether you use your own character or if you're using one of the ones that come with the game, this is the chamber that you come to. Then you get to explore.
This is the pool that thing came from. The parasite now writhing behind your eye.
So then you have your investigation check, so you can just kind of pick what you want to do. I'm gonna investigate so you can see how this works. So you get your skill check, your bonus, because this has investigation proficiency, gives you +2. So I'm gonna roll the dice. So I got very lucky with a critical.
The casing is fragile. The slightest touch could cause it to crumble.
So I know what's gonna happen if I touch it, so I'm not gonna risk it. It's probably gonna explode on me, so I'm gonna ignore it. I do not stream daily. I might give it a shot, but I have a lot of other stuff going on during the week. Right now, I just happen to have some extra time today. So I figured I will do that today, but I do play about 3 times a week at least that I'm gonna be streaming. Once I get a schedule, I will post it on my page. I almost left this room, and I recently found out that you can find some extra stuff. Don't forget to loot all your corpses.
Wretched thing.
Money
You got
does
what
not
you
come in
deserved.
easy in this game, so try to grab
It can't
everything,
be.
no matter how
We're in the house.
useless it seems. You can still sell it. Thank you, I appreciate it. So I do have Discord. I rarely use it unless I'm actually playing
Visions
with
project into your
my
mind.
D&D
An
group.
autoloid hurtling through the plains, resplendent
I
with
never
psionic
used
energy.
Twitter. Like, I made one at some point. I probably should make another one. But now it's like X, right? And I appreciate about the skills because, like I said, this is my first streaming. Do you have I haven't had a chance to check your profile because I'm playing, but do you stream? So for my picture, I think it's called OBS, and you can use it to kind of like override your webcam because I don't like I didn't want to record like my facial reactions while I'm in this. I'd rather just put a picture there. As far as the streaming software that I'm using, it's the one that was on Twitch. You can download it directly from them to PC. I think it's called Twitch Studio.
Let's hope for gold.
Images of goblins, their habits and histories flash into your mind.
A schematic of an autoloid flashes into your mind. A feeling penetrates your mind.
Sinews.
As much living beings
beyond
beyond
ourselves
ourselves flash before your eyes.
Empires of a
Grand design traversed by ships just like this.
I haven't gotten far enough to learn about panels and banners. I might check it out later. I'm just doing this kind of like for fun for now. Maybe if I get more
1,000
serious
years of
later, I'll
humanoid
look into
history.
it.
Elves, dwarves, humans, and
And
more
yeah, I'll definitely take a look at
flash
yours as
behind
well when
your
I'm done with
eyes.
this. If you wanna, I don't know if this lets you message me your page, or I can probably just follow you back since you followed me already. So something that you can do in this game for those of you who are new, you can actually sometimes it gives you the option to move objects. This one is just telling me to sit, but because it's not to the side, you won't let me sit there. But it's fine because I don't want to sit in. So these things are elevators. Sometimes they don't work. Like I think that one is broke.
We are trapped.
Yeah, when I'm on Discord, I'll definitely send you a request later.
Help us.
Don't break this. If I remember correctly, they spill acid.
Yes, you've come to save us from this place. From this place, you'll free us.
The exposed brain quivers in expectation.
Please. Before they return. They return.
So then when a conversation like this comes up, you can kind of pick what you think your like if you want to do the role play, you can pick whatever your character will pick, or you can just choose whatever you want as a person.
A newborn. Born new from this husk.
You realize you're talking to an intellect devourer, a minion of the mind flayers who abducted you.
The enemy. So many enemies.
Now, if you're playing like on the path of being evil, you can try to save it. From my point of view, Asterion is pretty pissed right now, so he wouldn't want to save the brain. He's kind of mad at the mind flayers. I was just double checking that. Now, I'm gonna recommend that you save as much as possible. Hey, thank you, Olivia. I'll check it out later. Like I said, right now this is kind of just like a hobby.
Abomination. This is your end.
Your head throbs and your skin tingles. Visions rush past. A dragon's wing, a silver sword, and a flash of your face seen through the strange woman's eyes.
My head. What is this? Skvar. You are no thrall. Vlaakith blesses me this day. Together, we might survive. Who am I? Your only chance of survival. We carry mind flayer parasites. Unless we escape, unless we are cleansed,
Our bodies and minds will be tainted and twisted. Within days, we will be Geich, mind flayers. We can do nothing until we escape. That must be our priority. First, we exterminate the Geichs. Then we find the helm and take control of the ship. We will address the matter of a cure for this infection once we reach the material plane.
This is basically when combat starts. You can see on top how many players or characters you have going on. So right now, if you're playing single player like I am right now, you get control. It's turn-based basically. Multiplayer works a little bit different, even though technically it is turn-based. But this little arrow kind of tells you with the white line is how far you can go. I'm gonna go right next to this enemy. I can reach it. Then I can pick. I'm playing on controller, so it gives me the options. If you're playing on a keyboard, your bar is gonna look a little bit different. So I'm just gonna attack melee, which is close combat. Fortunately, she missed. But he has pummel strike, which is like an extra action. And that one hit. You can check, I have no more actions that I can do because I
There's
used
blood
two.
in the air.
Now, my strategy here is to get rid of
Outmaneuver them.
enemies as soon as possible. So instead of waiting for that one, for Lazael's turn again, I'm just gonna use Therion, kill him. Now you have two options. You can either loot in game, which is not gonna hurt you because, like I said, it's turn-based, or you can loot at the end of the game or the end of the battle. He already used all his attack, so now I can either use push or dip. Never use dip, but if there is poison, I guess you can use it. I'm just gonna end my turn and let the other two devils go.
Taking a look.
So see how I told you to check all the corpses even if you didn't kill them? Sometimes you'll find good stuff. Not particularly the stuff that I will use in game, but you can sell it. Some people do like explosives and they create a good amount of damage for big groups.
You proved surprisingly adequate in battle.
In particular like it.
Now, to the helm.
So in this case, companions is, in this case, Lazel, because my main character is Therion. I double check that I got everything I need. Well, I got all the items. There's no other corpses that I can loot. Now when you find these things, restoration, definitely use them. It'll heal you and it'll reset your abilities. You don't start with a lot of them right off the bat, so you don't have to worry too much. Before I keep moving forward though, the one thing I will recommend is make sure that you are checking your inventory. As you can see, so I have my information, my tooltip on, and it tells me that a dagger makes 4 to 7 damage, where a hand axe makes 0 to 5. Hey Cynthia, I'm doing good, how about you? So I could switch to the hand axe, but it's less damage that you can potentially hit. It's slashing damage versus piercing, and it gives you different abilities. I want to stick with the higher damage. I don't have any ranged weapons, so I'm gonna go ahead and equipped the crossbow, so now Asterion can actually attack range as well. I'm gonna check on Lizelle as well, and it looks like her current weapon makes 4 to 7 damage, and this scimitar can make 4 to 9, but she's not proficient with that weapon, so she doesn't handle them as well, so I'm just gonna leave it that way. I have no plans on upgrading so far. Right now, I'm just kind of playing for fun and to show new players how the game works. Now, you change your character, that way they compare the weapons. I got distracted, so I was actually comparing this weapon on Zarion. But she is proficient, so she has 4 to 9 damage on this one. But the longsword that is equipped is 4 to 13, so I'm actually gonna let her keep that. But you can see what it will look like with the stuff that the other character had. So the short bow is 2 to 7, but the light crossbow is 2 to 9. So I'm gonna switch to the light crossbow because it has more damage, and she's proficient on both. The axe is 4 to 9, and she's already equipped to 4 to 13, so I'm gonna leave that. I'm gonna go to Zarion as the first character again. I'm already healed, and now I'm gonna look for my way out. And I'm just double checking that I didn't forget to loot.
This ship can only take so much. We have to push on before those dragons bring us down.
Yeah, if you wanna shoot me your Discord username, I will add you later. So be careful, because I just made that, I was distracted and I made the mistake of walking through fire, so I took a little bit of damage. I don't want to go into another battle with damage, so I'm gonna go back and heal. And like I said, save often. Now I'm not worrying too much because I know that the characters are gonna catch up with me, but be careful because sometimes they cannot jump or catch up with you, and that can be an issue.
Gauge machinery.
So I was playing with the controls, and apparently I electrocuted them. So oops. And I don't think you can actually get that in. But you can loot them.
We have no time for stragglers.
So, if I was kind of doing RPG, I will probably just let her be there, just because Asterion seems like the kind of guy who's like out for himself. But Shadowheart is actually like your healer at the beginning of the game. So unless you're making your own character, it's probably better to just save her. I'll tell her.
Contraption next to the pod. They did something to it when they sealed me in. Hurry, please.
I already know that this is not gonna work without getting the other piece.
The console mechanisms are completely unrecognizable at first. Nothing. The console remains dormant.
But at least...
Not without whatever fits in that socket.
Faint images appear in your mind. A brain, a Githyanki warrior, and centuries of darkness.
So you can see that you can use the First,
Faint images appear in your mind.
pick that up.
A brain, a Githyanki warrior, and centuries of darkness.
I look at my tools and open, but this one's locked, so I'm gonna lockpick. I have specialty dice because I got this game as a gift and it came with the expansion pack. But you can see because I have Asterion and he's a rogue, he has all this extra. The dexterity is because I pick as my extra, and then there's lay of hand and is because of extra stuff that I pick on. And you can do that too, like sometimes it won't work the same way because you have a different class or proficiency. But it kinda worked for this character. I made it specifically. Disarm traps and open locks. I think you may be able to just take this chest if you want and sell it if you're unable to open it. Like if you don't start with a... If your character cannot unlock it, because even though you don't have to have a rogue to unlock lockpick, any character should do, but you get a couple extra points if you have low roll.
You are beautiful.
Skra, how many hosts of these gay infected?
A dazed woman is trapped inside the pod. She doesn't notice you.
I'm currently in the middle of a game, but I will send you a request after. Luckily, this chest was locked.
Are you a pet? Or a snake? Curious. Looks like it might fit into that machine by the pod.
As you place your hand on the pod, you hear something. A presence connected to the pod, commanding the person inside to change.
So curiosity killed the cat.
Changed at the pull of a lever. How? If we are not purified, this may be our fate.
Is there a lever with our names on it somewhere?
Luckily, that thing's still trapped. They have very low HP, they're really easy to kill. I already attacked them, so now I'm gonna attack with Lazdel. She's better with melee. I'm gonna do a close combat. It's 10 XP, it's not a lot, but every little bit adds up, especially when the game gets harder later on. The more levels you can acquire before you move to the next stage. So there is actually 3 acts in the game.
The
We're
console
doing Act
appears
1 right
dormant.
now. Act 2 gets a little bit more difficult, and then you cannot go back to Act 1, and then when you get to Act 3, you cannot go back to Act 2 or 1.
The console hums to life. But what is its purpose? Will it free the captive or transform her like that other unfortunate?
So he's not proficient in Arcana, so you can see that's why they didn't bonuses. So I failed.
Nothing in the appearance of the device betrays its purpose. It could do anything. It
Just
could
because
even
I failed the roll
transform
doesn't
the
mean something
occupant of
bad's
the
gonna
pod,
happen, it just means that
like
he
what
doesn't
happened
know.
before. Suddenly, you feel a hideous squirming in your head. The parasite. Then discomfort fades, and another sensation washes over you. Connection. Authority.
You can ignore, or you can will the path to open. I haven't ignored it, but I have a feeling that I have to tell it to open it because they're kind of connected. Luckily, it only requires a 2. I rolled an 8. And you can make the
Feel
rolls go faster
biomechanical brain of
by
the
just being
console
letting them roll so
process
you
your
can see what it looks like.
and yield to it. A shiver runs across your mind. You feel sated.
I thought that damn thing was going to be my coffin. Thank you.
Your mind lurches into her thoughts. Her gratitude is mixed with wariness, because you have a Gith with you.
You keep dangerous company. Fair point. Looks like there's plenty of fighting ahead. Let me come with you. We can get off this ship and watch each other's backs along the way. Shadowheart. One moment.
So Shadowheart, you can either question her about it or you can let it go. I'm not gonna question it too much just because I know she's really
Let us make for the
private
helm.
about that
We've
item
wasted
from my
enough
other
time
run.
already.
She's right. Lead on.
Now, you're welcome to do this if you want to. Like I said, you can check your equipped items here. You can check Shadowheart. You can check
What am I to
them.
do?
You can see that she has weapon. She doesn't have a melee weapon, so I'm gonna give her the extra bow, so she has something to attack with ranged. I'm gonna see. Here's a mace, which is 2 to 7, which is about the same as the hand axe. The hand axe is lighter, so it might help with a little bit of the speed. So I'm actually gonna switch her to the hand axe. She already has a shield. 2 to 7, so it looks like that's the best damage that she's gonna make. Not that it matters because she is a cleric, so we're gonna focus on her on being a healer. Eventually, hopefully, you will need a lot of heals during the game, and you'll just focus on surviving the battle, and then you can just do a short rest, long rest, and I'll explain those later. I'm gonna switch back to Asterion. At this point in the game, I'm gonna do a little save. And I'm gonna take a little break and I will be back. Thank you for watching, and I will upload this on my videos and eventually on YouTube, and I will name it something regarding to, so it can be pinpointed. Alright, I'll be back and thank you for watching.